G'day, you good motherfuckers, the Buttsman here, and this is my impression of a body positivity influencer. Oh my god, it's everyone's fault that I'm fat but mine. It's white people's fault. It's men's fault. I'm a victim. Please follow me. It's garbage. You victims, you professional victims. It's just rubbish. This is the attitude of so many severely obese influencers and regular people. Now, I'm not just talking about influencers as in that Instagram chick who's always got her ass cheeks out and puts those motivational quotes down there like, I am brave. Shut up, you hussbag. Put your bum cheeks away, you big weirdo. Anyway, this shit is everywhere, all right? It's in the cholesterol-infused bowels of the internet and it cannot be stopped. There are armies who dedicate their lives to this, right? Take this bird, for example.
I'm gonna prove to you why white people are the reason I'm fat today.
Okay, let me explain this video in a couple of seconds. So, 200 or so years ago, England went to India looking for spices. That was bad for Indian people. There were genocides. It was very awful. There wasn't many spices left for the Indian people. Some people starved. Others started eating other things. And the reason that this chick is fat now is because of white people 200 years ago. You absolute fucking child. Grow up. Have some fucking self-decency and admit when you are at fault.
So yeah, white people is the reason why I can't lose weight.
The reason you are overweight, the reason I've been overweight in the past, maybe the reason you're overweight right now watching this. It is on you, okay? Some things may influence you over the years, but at the end of the day, you are the one who controls what you put in your mouth and how much exercise you do, no one else. So stop fucking blaming other people. It's all thermodynamics. Eat less, burn more, dickhead. Now this video right here, ladies and gentlemen, has been designed in a very important way. It has 3 different stories in it, and the stories become more ridiculous as the video goes on. In fact, there's one story in here, and I'm not going to tell you which one it is, but I wondered if humans are de-evolving into lampposts after I read it. Which isn't surprising when you find out that obesity is significantly associated with a decrease in cognitive function. So yeah, these stories become overly hilarious as the video goes on, so please stick with us. The first story in today's video takes us to the most powerful woman on earth, Lizzo. And this unintentionally hilarious headline, Lizzo is taking up space, I bet she is, and breaking fat-phobic ideas while she does it. On Monday night, Lizzo took to the stage at the 2022 Emmys to accept the award for Outstanding Competition Program for her show, Watch Out for the Big Girls. Yeah, watch out for them, all right? They may nibble on your leg. In a tearful acceptance speech, Lizzo, whose show put 13 fat dancers, Jesus, in competition for a spot on stage, called out the real beauty of her win. Okay, cool. Let's sit back and watch this gorgeous heart-clogging moment.
I need my big girls to come to the stage right now! Right now!
Oh my God, am I the only one thinking this right now? That poor stage. The stage that just is hearing the pounding of the pavement that is these big girls that are on their way. This is my impression of that stage if it was motivating other stages like in Braveheart for some reason. Son of stages, we are fucked. Lizzo is here and she will consume us. She will destroy us, splinter us from our very being. I ask you for 1 minute of power to stand up to these fat girls and tell their chubby legs that they may splinter our lives, but they'll never take our freedom or live to 50 years old.
I want to say thank you to the Emmys and the Emmys voters, first of all. I'm very emotional. And the trophy is nice, but my emotion is for these people who are on this stage with me.
This impression right here of a severe asthma sufferer crying is just incredible. Marvelous acting.
The stories that they shared, they're not that unique. They just don't get the platform. telling stories. Let's just tell more stories.
So the basic gist is Lizzo wants more stories to be told by fat people. Have you never watched Huey's Cooking Adventures? I guess she's talking about stories like this. The sting of sizeism in the scientific workplace. This is an article from nature.com. Researchers of size. Oh my God. Say weight bias is harming their careers and well-being. Workplace changes can reduce the stigma. I wonder what this important story is about with these researchers of size. Well, I'll tell you what it's about. There is a lady researcher, who complained because when she became a scientist, she needed to get a lab coat. You know, scientists, lab coats, all that type of shit. She went to the lab coat shop and she could only get an XL when she was a 3XL. That's sizeism. That's oppression. That's on par with the Jews in 1939 through 1945.
When I was a little girl,
You were never a little girl.
all I wanted to see was me in the media. Someone fat like me, black like me, beautiful like me.
Jesus Christ. I get that Lizzo may not have seen too many black people when she was younger on TV, although she's not that old, I'm sure she did. But the whole idea that she needs to see more morbidly obese people on TV to make her feel better, where is she getting this from? Why? Why are you pushing this? I do not get this shit. It's weird. It's like you're sitting in the lounge smashing a bag of chips and a full strength Coke because you're fucking insane, and you think that you need to see more people that look like a fucking slob like you? Why? Why? Just so you know, this is the show that she's talking about and she won the Emmy for.
It's Lizzo. I'm looking for dancers to join me on my tour. Girls that look like me don't get representation. Time to pull up my sleeves and find them myself.
That is just awe-inspiring. They should have played that to the troops that had to go over the top of the trenches in World War I. They would have ran straight through no man's land. I can't say that. No man's land. No they, thems. No, that's offensive. No gender-specific land. And smashed the Germans. Easy. And unfortunately, the story goes on. Lizzo has in fact become the representation she and so many other fat fucks crave. I put that bit in. And she's done it by breaking all of the rules. By taking up space as a fat woman who loves herself without apology. What are these rules we're talking about? Like, we have rules in Australia on not putting smoking commercials on TV. Should we also have rules about not putting morbidly obese people on TV and then saying that this is a really healthy way to live your life and you should love yourself? Because let's remember, Lizzo is much shorter than me and she's 140 kilos, 300 pounds. I'm like 110 kilos at the moment because I'm a little bit of a fatty at the moment. I've been eating too many fucking cheeseburgers. Point being, this is not inspiring, this is dangerous.
Where are my big girls? Are they here?
Oh, this story ends sadly though. They didn't end up coming because they were at the buffet. But you know what? Lizzo isn't the only one targeted by fat phobia. So is, and I promised these stories would get more ridiculous as the video went on, so is Thomas the Tank Engine. Visitors to the Thomas the Tank Engine attraction told not to use the name the Fat Controller because it's a slur and call him Sir Top Ham Hat instead. For fuck's sake, I would like to just say, if you do go to this exhibit, please call him the Fat The Fat That's what I want you to call him. But you know what? People don't like the word fat because it's a slur, but then they want to be called fat because it's not a slur and it's powerful. I'm confused. Not as confused as the most hilarious story here from Time magazine. Climate change is to blame for fat kids. I give up. Climate change is to blame for fat kids. Why? Is it because, you know, they're eating coal? Is that the problem? They're eating coal and farting out methane out in the paddocks with all the cows? Is that the problem? Getting kids to be active in a modern world is a tough sell. Yeah, particularly if you've got a child and you just give them an iPad every 5 fucking minutes. It can be hard to compete with indoor comforts like video games, television, and air conditioning. Oh, it is hard to compete with air conditioning, you're right. Sweltering weather is another formidable barrier to kids getting enough physical activity, finds a new scientific study. Okay, so they're now suggesting that kids are getting fatter because they're inside more because of climate change caused by fossil fuels. Fuck me! Can we stop with the excuses? It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. People don't really live in a world where they're so protected, where they're the victim everywhere and everyone's cushioning everything around them so they don't get hurt. That's not living. That's not life. It's just ridiculous. Take some fucking ownership for the person that you are. If you're overweight, okay, fine. Work on it. If you're ugly, sorry guys, I'm talking to you. You're fucked. You right there? Yeah, you. Jared. I don't know how many people who watch my videos called Jared, but fuck you, Jared. Take some fucking ownership. I don't care if it's 40 fucking degrees. Get out there and get amongst it. When I was a kid, we used to play cricket, right? In 40-degree heat. Stand out there for 4 or 5 hours, hitting a fucking ball. I hate cricket now. I like watching it for 10 minutes and I get fucking bored, but it reminds me of those days sitting out there in the boiling hot Australian sun, but we did it. Particularly as kids. If your kid's inside all day, get them out. Get them out the door to play with their mates. And if they get abducted, they get abducted. Just don't put them in a Spider-Man suit. It's easy. We are melting into a society that could be blown over by a strong gust of wind. And that is terrible, not just for me or you, but for everybody involved. And that is the entire world. We're all fucked. Ladies and gentlemen, when the Chinese are our overlords, we're all fucked. Because all we care about is fucking Thomas the Tank Engine's fucking conductor, who's probably a dictator, probably a white supremacist, may I just add. He's too concerned about being called the fat controller. Well, fuck that fat and fuck all fat. Anyway, bye. See you, bye.